I'm Julie Bartke with Session Update. The Senate Taxes Committee got its first in-depth look at the governor's budget proposal today, which includes property tax rebates of $500 per homeowner, an increase in LGA, and it also expands the sales tax while lowering the overall rate. Republicans questioned many of the provisions, and it sparked some fiery debate.
I just want to make sure that people understand that we're talking about a one-time assumption that there will be a reduction of taxes when you say that there was a 9.7% effect. It wouldn't carry over from year to year, and it would factor in that one payment of $500 when you come up with that 9.7%. Is that correct?
Commissioner Frans.
Mr. Chair, Senator, actually that would be an annual amount. So the rebate begins in 2014 and continues thereafter. So the 9.7% reduction in state property taxes would be a result of the $500 rebate program beginning and continuing in 2014. And the same is true of the local government aid.
Are you saying that then you're planning to provide that rebate more than one time?
Yeah, it's
Commissioner Frans.
Senator Scoy, yes, it's an ongoing rebate program beginning in 2014.
Well, forgive me for being skeptical, Mr. Chair, and
Senator Artman.
And Commissioner Frans. Especially in the last couple of years, residential property taxes have not gone up statewide. Now, I'm concerned about the statewide business property tax, but I can't imagine why we would take sales tax dollars out of the pockets of middle income and poor Minnesotans just to write a check to property tax owners or property owners in the state of Minnesota. I don't know why we would do that unless it looked like forgive me for being cynical, a re-election plan. I'm not sure why that's good tax policy. Why would you raise sales taxes and income taxes just to write a check to certain Minnesotans who happen to own property?
Commissioner Frans.
Mr. Chair, Senator, the policy was designed based upon our feedback and analysis of citizens across the state of Minnesota, and their number one concern about property taxes becoming too high, continuing to rise, and first of all, that was our number one concern. The second thing is the fact that we've continued to rely more and more on property taxes. So this is both an effort to make sure that Minnesotans, both businesses and homeowners, get some relief from property tax increases, and we provide a mechanism where the sales tax shoulders a bigger share of the responsibility for funding government.
This is not a reform. There may be some elements of reform here, and there may be some improvements, but you're raising $1.5 billion in taxes. And the governor has said he wouldn't impose new taxes on the middle class. But this proposal raises taxes on the middle class and the poorest of the poor in Minnesota, just so you can turn around and give it to property taxpayers in the state of Minnesota. And I find that to be very irresponsible. And then to say it's a reform is just dishonest.
One of the keys to the governor's and the sales tax expansion is pure tax reform. There's nothing more pure in tax reform than broadening bases and lowering rates. That is the essential tool that we often use. And so that element we think is really critical toward the overall package. But the overall package is designed, as Chair Scoy mentioned, is to solve the deficit. And one of the things that we've been working toward, and the governor's been working very hard, is to make sure that we show Minnesotans that we can solve the deficit, and we can make investments in education and health care, and then we can pay back the schools. So this is a transparent and clearly focused attempt to make sure that we own up to Minnesotans and we pay down our deficit, we solve our investment problems in education and health care and job growth, and we solve the deficit not only for this biennium but for the next biennium, and we also pay back the entire school shift.